Howdy everyone, and welcome back to the Luna Geeks Out channel. If the lighting is a little rough in today's video, I do apologize. It is quite overcast outside, and I'm getting to this a little later than I had hoped to, just because weirdly chaotic day today. So, it's a little rough. It seems to be working, but if it is just bad, I do apologize for that. Anyways, we are checking out the next track on BABYMETAL's new album, The Other One. That is, of course, Maya. Lyrically, it's quite the interesting one. I haven't heard too much discussion on the music here. To my understanding, this isn't one of the ones that's really jumped out to people. But it is BABYMETAL. It's going to be high quality regardless of, you know, what sort of sound or style they approach it with. So I'm very much looking forward to checking this one out. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Right off into some heaviness. Nice. That is actually a killer riff right there. I love that. Some sort of like bit of dark synth feel in the background now. And back into that riff, electronics on top of it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, a little bit of fun coming in. Nice. Oh, this is really nice right here. Just a bit of that sort of classic blend of, you know, some heavy guitar and some electronics that you get with a lot of this kind of music. Nothing too crazy, but pretty dang hard to go wrong with. That is such a good riff right there. Honestly, might be one of my favorites BABYMETAL have done so far. Absolutely love this chorus. Oh, some pauses in there. Nice. Getting a little bit interest in there. Okay. Oh, and a little quiet there. Just some synths in the background with the vocals. That was really cool. Alright. A little lacking. I think that one could have benefited from perhaps a solo or a breakdown or something like that. Get out of my face here. But no, that was actually really good. I honestly, on that first listen, liking it a bit more than a Mirror Mirror. Yeah, that was good. Now, lyrical analysis time. Starting off just with the title, and also we get in the intro, Maya. Now, Maya is, of course, a name. One that, come to think of it, I don't think I've ever actually met anyone with that name, but it is a name. There are people named Maya. I don't think I know any, but I'm just gonna go on a loop if I keep saying that. But yeah, it is a name. But it's also the concept from Indian philosophies. That it quite literally means, just reading off of Wikipedia, quite literally means illusion or magic, something we see very much reflected in the song. But then there's another thing that I really liked here on Wikipedia that I want to point out. Maya also connotes that which is constantly changing and thus is spiritually unreal, and therefore conceals the true character of spiritual reality. So it's not just something that is an illusion, is false, it's something that is actively concealing and actively deceptive. So I'll dive into that in a moment. It's a concept that, like, you see that, oh, just illusion magic, all right, yeah, I guess that's a cool little name, ties into the concept of the song, but then read down a little further, and this was like, oh, that actually ties in really well. And obviously, this is a decently long Wikipedia page. I did not read over the entire thing. I just read like that first little section just to get an idea of what this actually meant and why it was chosen as the title. So I can't dive too much into perhaps some deeper, perhaps philosophical or, I don't know, mythological or whatever reasons why this is chosen beyond that sort of very basic meaning, unfortunately. But we will dive into it, starting off with the intro. You got the power, Maya, magic power, Maya. It sets things up, right? There's not a lot to dive into with that. It's just, yeah, magic, illusion, all that stuff. Into the chorus, we start to what the heck just happened? I'm struggling today. We start to see things fall into place. There we go. I do not know what just happened. Alright, so we have Say My Name repeated before each chunk of this by BABYMETAL, but then from Su-metal, you are the magic and illusion. If there is magic, it's an illusion, deception, deceitful. There we go into what I was talking about it's, actively sort of concealing the truth. It's actively deceiving you. We see that right there. There is some magic here, perhaps, but it's not, what we think of, like, say, fairy tale magic, where, something gets transformed into something else, or, they make something levitate, or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think of actual examples, and I'm drawing blanks. It's, stage magic, more so, I suppose, where, they pull the, the flowers come out of the magic wand or whatever, but they were always in there. You just, like, I don't know, popped a cap off or something. I'm not a magician. I don't know how the trick happens, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm trying to say. It's stage magic, where it's not real. It's very much an illusion designed to give the look of something happening, even though that's not what's happening. Into verse 1. Broken my dreams and lose control on a night where sparks fly. We should be able to understand each other surely, because there is no end. That first section, broken my dreams and lose control, feel like that might translate better as and lost control. Broken my dreams and lost control. I don't know. Of course, I don't speak Japanese. I haven't read the original thing. I can't remember if that line was in English or Japanese originally, unfortunately. But regardless, dreams are a big concept in this song. Of course, dreams are sort of weird little illusions that our minds create when we're asleep. But then losing control, perhaps, and I'll dive into this a little more later on, but perhaps it's the idea that they lost control of both the reality and the dreams. They're not sure what's what anymore. They've lost their grip on that. On a night where sparks fly, to me, actually, now that I read back through this and just think about it for a second, kind of ties back into monochrome almost. I feel like I don't have a big point to make with that, but something similar. The second two lines in that, unfortunately, I have nothing to say on them, but that first one, I broke on my dreams and lose control, I think is really important for sort of setting things up here. The interlude by Moa backs up that idea. that I was talking about earlier on. How would you know the difference between the virtual world and the real world? Maybe what you see with your eyes is all an illusion. So perhaps there is something where they're losing their grip on reality, losing an understanding of what's real and what's dreams. They've lost control of that. So it gets pretty interesting. Then we have the chorus again. Say my name, repeated 4 times, of course, but then you are the magic and illusion. If you cast a spell, it's an illusion, deception, fascination. So I think what this is getting at is there is sort of an understanding that this is all fake, but like they cast this spell. It's an illusion, it's deception, but they're fascinated by it. There's, sort of an allure to this. They may know it's all fake, but do they really want to believe it's fake? Do they really want it to be fake? Maybe it would be easier if all of this was real, if, this magic was real, if their wishes were granted, tying back into Mirror, Mirror, Make My Wish Come True in the last song. Verse 2, if it's a dream story, no more. Even with a fleeting hope, wait until dawn for your wish to come true. Ties back into what I was just saying, that if it's a dream story, right, this is still just a dream, fleeting hope. It may not be much, but they are still hoping. They are waiting for this wish to come true, even perhaps if it is just an illusion, is just fake and made up, is just a deception. And then the chorus again, say my name, of course, repeated 4 times, but then you are the magic and illusion. When the magic is over, it's an illusion, deception, disappear. So another important thing with the story we're getting in this song, there may be this magic, there may be this deception, but it's going to be done and it's going to disappear and things are not going to have changed. So it's not something lasting. It's not real change, right? It's very much, to go back to that somewhat rough comparison I was making to, the trick where, they flick the wand or whatever and the flowers come out. That can be reset. Probably. Again, I don't actually know how that happens, but like magic tricks like that, they can be reset and done again. So it's not like you flick that and all of a sudden it's an actual flower growing out and you can't turn it back into a magic wand now. You just gotta get the flower back inside it or whatever, right? Again, this is a little rough because I am not a magician and I do not know how that works, but good stuff there. And then at the end, a night like it was all a dream, ending up as a chill morning. When woken up, I'll not be here. What I'm seeing here is this acknowledgement at the end that this was all a dream. It was all fake. It was all an illusion. And it's now done. They've reached the end of this part of the journey, and they're moving on to the next stage, which would be Time Wave. Yeah, Time Wave. I don't know. I don't have a point to make after that. I was going to segue that into something with like the journey continuing, and I got so confused trying to figure out the next song that I lost it. But yeah, no, this one, I think some of the other songs have stood out to me more lyrically. I mean, even Mirror, Mirror was a very simple song, but it was like I got into that one. This one, it could just be. This has been a weird day. There's been a lot that's happened, and I'm kind of struggling right now, to be completely honest, so it could just be that my mind's just not quite there at the moment, so I'm struggling to grab all of this stuff. But this one just, even when I was looking at it last night, it didn't grab me quite as much as some of the other ones have. There's good stuff in here. I did enjoy talking about this one. I did think the story it was telling was interesting, but I don't know, I think there's other songs on this so far that just have stood out to me more. This one is like, yeah, it's alright, it's some good stuff, but I mean, even Mirror, Mirror, which up to this point I thought had some of the weakest lyrics in it just because they were very simple and very repetitive, was a pretty interesting one. And this one is just like, it's there. It's telling a story. Don't hate it. But yeah, no, yeah, it's all right. This very well could just be rough day, impacting everything, but the lyrics in this one just are not on the same level as some of the other ones we've gotten so far, unfortunately. Though, again, I do like the story that's being told and everything. That has been too far away up until this point. Hopefully that audio is now better. But we've ranted about the lyrics, so let's shift into talking about the... Let's see, are any of those linings better? not really. Let's shift into talking about the music now. Yeah, honestly, I really liked that. It was a simple song, and I'll get into that in a moment. It was a simple song, but it was a really effective song, and I really liked it. So, vocals were, I mean, nothing too crazy with them, right? Some of the stuff we've had has, like, really blown me away vocally. I thought it had some really good moments. This was just, it was just some high-quality vocals. I thought Mo was quite nice on this. The other section where she was more speaking, he had that distortion on her voice and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. Not necessarily like that's a lot of vocal talent there or anything, but I thought it had a cool sound. I enjoyed it, and then, I mean, just Sue Metal's vocals were, I mean, as to be expected, fantastic. So, yeah, all of that was nice. Not quite as, you know, impressive or stand out as some of the other tracks so far, vocally speaking, but certainly up on the same level of quality. The guitar might honestly be my favorite so far. I really liked that riff. I mean, what can I say? That was just a good riff. And then shifting into the chorus, similar sort of energy, but it brought in a bit more sort of fun. Like, it went from just like a good head-banging riff to one that you kind of want to dance along to a little more, which I really liked. So yeah, guitar work in this was fantastic. Bass, couldn't hear, but I could kind of pick up on the bass a little bit. It was solid. You didn't hear it enough to really be able to comment on it too much, but it was solid. The drums actually did not stand out to me all that much. They were alright, but I didn't really notice them in this track very much, which is a shame because I do love the drums, but in this track I have nothing much to say on those. They were alright, but on this first listen, bit forgettable. I'm sure I'll notice them more as I listen more, but not quite what I think they could have been, at least on this first listen. There's been other BABYMETAL songs the drums have stood out a bit more. Mirror Mirror, I think, had some really good drum moments, if I'm remembering correctly. Again, a little tired today, so my memory is not the best, but I do remember really liking the drums in Mirror Mirror. Then we had some electronic elements in there, a bit of a dark synth kind of sound. Loved that. That was just that extra little bit of something or other that the song really needed. It was the spice on top of everything else that I always talk about. It brought this whole song together, added a bit more texture, added a bit more just stuff, and that really worked, and I really liked it. So yeah, the electronic elements here were fantastic. And then, I don't think there were any other elements. So yeah, the electronic elements were good. All the other stuff in this was pretty good. The bass and drums, not quite what I think they could have been, but they were alright. Everything else was really good. So nothing too disappointing, just some stuff that didn't necessarily live up to everything else you've heard so far. So I can definitely see why this one I'm not seeing get talked about quite as much. But just as a whole, this was a very simple song, right? You basically had one main guitar riff that would play, and then you had a different section that you'd have in the chorus, and that was about it. It was simple, but it was actually very effective. Like, I think it lacked a little bit of sort of the magic of BABYMETAL, where you would get all these different sounds coming together, and it's just super fun and really interesting. But it had a lot of just the quality of BABYMETAL, certainly, and I mean, it had a little bit of that fun. I talked about that in the chorus and everything. It was an enjoyable song. It certainly would have been nice to hear a bit more happen in this. I think I talked about, you know, perhaps a breakdown or a guitar solo would have been good. But I mean, what we got, you know, it was a shorter song. It came in, it did what it needed to. It hit hard, and it went out without overstaying its welcome. So, no, actually pretty good. I do think I still, even off of this first listen, like this one a little more than Mirror Mirror after probably 15 or so. Just, this is more the kind of thing I tend to go for, right? I love just a good riff and a fun chorus and everything, so, hey, this was enough for me. So, yeah, a little, not boring, but perhaps a little more forgettable in comparison to the other stuff we've gotten so far. Not quite as interesting, but really enjoyable, really enjoyable. I had a great time checking this one out. I really liked this one. I would put it probably slightly above Mirror Mirror, and even Mirror Mirror has grown on me a lot. I do like that one pretty good amount now. So yeah, these past two tracks we've checked out have been a little weak, but BABYMETAL are exploring a new sound with this album. So I do think this is something, again, I'm going to need to not only let these grow on me, but really experience this album as a whole, since it is a concept album. I think that's going to have these things sort of fit together a lot better. But, you know, just to reiterate, not my favorite, but certainly not my least favorite. Enjoyable, if a little forgettable of a song, and I can't really complain about that. I would certainly have liked a bit more, but I did like what we got. So yeah, I'd say this is another good song from BABYMETAL, another success from them, just not up on the same level as some of the stuff we've gotten before. But I'm out of stuff to say on the track, so y'all know the drill. It is time to select the next thing we'll be reacting to. List went up a bit again because Mamamoo just had a new music video come out. Jisoo just released her, like, solo stuff. There's a word I'm looking for and it's gone. And then aespa have a song in the soundtrack for the Tetris movie, which is just insane to think about. And I mean, I'm an aespa fan. I would have checked out anything they put out, but the fact that it's in the Tetris movie, I have to hear that. Apparently it samples some of the, like, songs popularized through the Tetris games, so oh, that could be very interesting. But let's give it a spin and see what we get. Lots of things I'm looking forward to today. Hopefully, whatever we get to, I'll be doing a bit better on the day we check it out, and that is BM2. I have no idea what that song is at all. Legitimately no idea. But it is Bandmade, so it's gonna be a fun time. Maybe not the most exciting thing. Bandmade tend to give a fairly consistent product in terms of quality, but also it rarely shifts around too much. We've been getting some different stuff as of late, but it's a fairly consistent product, so I doubt there's going to be too many surprises packed in, but it's going to be a good time. It's going to be, I think, a lot like this one, just a song we can get into and have some fun with, and yeah, I could certainly use that. So yeah, very happy about that. BM2, no idea what that song is, but it'll be good. I'll go ahead and say it. It'll be good. It's Bandmade. It'll be good. But that is going to do it for the video, so thank y'all for watching. In the description, I normally say other stuff before that, like, comment, subscribe, all that. I forget the whole spiel. Like I said, I'm out of it today. In the description, link to the songs, you can check it out, support the artist, link to my BABYMETAL videos playlist, my alt-idol reactions playlist, my rock and metal reactions playlist, and my Japanese music reactions playlist. This is going into a lot of things, so you can check out some similar content from me, and then links to my Discord server, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify playlist of all the songs I've reacted to, at least the ones up on Spotify, and my link tree, which has all my other stuff in it, in case any of that interests y'all. Anyways, like I said, that's going to do it. So once again, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya.